Okay. Let me get this stuff going, hopefully. Hi guys, hopefully everyone has had a good Monday, even though it's Monday. Yeah. Who's doing that? Stop. All right. Hi, Christina. Just getting, there we go. The chat up. Hi, Angela. Hi, everyone. Hopefully, everyone has had a halfway decent Monday. Hi, Janelyn, Nicole. Hello. Tina. Hello, hello. How's everyone's Monday? I will say I survived it. It wasn't, incredible, but it was a Monday. Hi, Spiral Heart. Good. Yay. Good, good, good. So we are kind of starting to, hi, Michelle, wind down our shadow work series a little bit. There's only so much that I can do to, put you on that road. And then a lot of shadow work is really about, working internally. So I do want to start winding it down. We could have, it depends on how it goes tonight. We'll see. Hi, Jessica. Is that a stained glass house on the wall? Oh, are you the one that said that before, Pepper? It actually isn't. Hold on, I'll show you. It's wood. And I want to use it for my ancestor altar once Samhain is over. And I started, I killed myself here, sorry. It's wood, see? And I started painting the inside boxes here. And I got to finish. I just have a couple more to paint. And then I want to set up my ancestor altar on to the house because I thought that would be a neat way to do my ancestor altar. So, and I actually got the idea on Pinterest where I saw pretty much that exact house and I already had it. So I was like, oh, look at that. Thank you. I wish I could take credit for it, but like I said, Pinterest is a rabbit hole that I go down often. And I try to, pin some of the stuff that I will do. And sometimes it gets half done and then it, kind of goes on the back burner a little bit. But I will get back to that one because I like it. Looks like stained glass. Yep. Hi, Johnny. Nice to have you here. I do too. I love Pinterest. Although I tend to kind of get myself down the rabbit hole a little bit too much. Like I could probably spend 4 hours a day on Pinterest if I let myself. I just, there's so many neat things and then I kind of tweak it a little. I'm like, oh, I wonder if it would work if I did this. And then all of a sudden 4 hours is gone and I don't know what the hell I've been doing. But it's fun. It's nice that there's a place to go where there's so many different ideas. Yeah, right, Angela? I know, I'm telling you. And it depends on my mood. I can do, like, I don't know if any of you have visited my Pinterest page yet, but it is quite a rabbit hole already. Because I have all kinds of different boards and it depends on my mood. If there's a Sabbath coming up, I'll start looking up rituals and stuff and altars and decorations and all that kind of stuff. And if there isn't a Sabbath coming up, then I'm looking at, different altar tools and how to make them yourself. And little Dandelion doing horrible right now, but maybe this will help me feel better. Take a deep breath, little Dandelion. I know Mondays are not always great. I have to really specifically try to tell myself it's not going to be a bad day. To start off being like, okay, even though we know it's Monday, I'm going to not start my day off with that Monday, oh my God, I don't want to do this kind of feeling, because that starts me off right away with having not so great a day to begin with. And then it just kind of goes downhill from there usually. I'm like that with crafts and cooking. Yep, absolutely. Yep, is your Pinterest page name the same here? Yes, I believe so. I think it has the Willowwind part of it. If not, it's Jennifer Storelli, but I think it has the Willowwind part of it too. Hold on one sec. Let me see. Come on. Because I think it's connected to my Facebook page. Oh, it just says Jennifer Storelli. Annoying, but okay. So yes, it just says Jennifer Storelli on it. I went to your Pinterest to look for one thing. 2 hours later, I was so far down the rabbit hole. Yep. I do have a lot of different boards. I know all of my different boards usually. So I know which one has what, but I'm sure it's not easy for other people. I do try to separate stuff out. So there's lots of different Book of Shadows boards, which goes through, there is actually a board called Book of Shadows pages. So if you want specific pages for your Book of Shadows, that's where to go. Then there's information that you would put in your Book of Shadows. So, and they're under BOS, the initials BOS. And then there's like BOS elements. There's BOS rituals. There's BOS, I don't know. There's probably 10 BOS boards. So lots. Little Dale, I'm way too emotional and mad at myself basically right now. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Definitely hugs all around. I think sometimes keep in mind too that if you have been doing any of the shadow work, sometimes that really opens up a raw space. So you have to, that's why you have to be extra nice to yourself and try to cut yourself some slack when you're doing shadow work, because it makes you very vulnerable and raw. So it's something that you have to really be able to come back up. We talked about diving in and coming back up and doing some affirmation kind of stuff. Journaling about, the good things about yourself too. Don't get stuck down there. And if it's not about the shadow work, then keep in mind that when you do open yourself up, other stuff can come in when you're already open and raw that maybe wouldn't have bothered you as much before, but because you're already a little open and raw, it's kind of hitting you a little bit more than it normally would too. So be extra nice to yourself and, give yourself extra space around people and extra love at this time. Yes, GER days are not fun. While we are all together, may I ask for a favor? Go ahead, Kay, sure. Try to talk to yourself the way you would talk to a good friend. Exactly. And keep that in mind, that, we're worse to each other and to our family members and to ourselves than we are if we were talking to a good friend. We wouldn't be nearly as mean to a good friend as we would to our family members or our ourselves. I haven't really done the diving in part yet, but what little I have done, I've learned very quickly that I need to do a lot of self-love, self-healing. Yes, absolutely. And please do, for sure. And I usually plan some time so that once I know, you can set an egg timer, for like half an hour. Say, okay, half an hour, I'm going to kind of do this work and dive in there. And then I'm going to give myself at least 10 or 15 minutes afterwards to come back up and breathe some, to do some self-affirmations, some self-love techniques, to take a bath and light some candles and put soft music on and think about the good stuff that you feel about yourself. Make sure you give yourself time at the end of that diving in phase, that you have some time to pull yourself back out of that too. Just to let everyone know, tonight and tomorrow there's a huge meteor shower. Oh, you're kidding. I wonder if sometimes in New York we've gotten some terrible clouds and I can't see anything, but I'll have to go out and look. So definitely, yay. Hey, Al, just listening in, not chatting. Hi, Jezebel. Good. Glad you're here. Hi, Molly. Glad you're here. So, Kay, go right ahead, honey. You needed some advice on something or wanted to ask a question, favor, something? Your cell phones have timers. Yep, that's true. Don't do what I did. Order egg timer off of Amazon to notice I had one. Yeah, I think there's something about timers that I know that I'm not great with time. I think I have like 3 different egg timers in the house because like my husband will tell me, I know when I start a load of laundry, Sundays are my day to do my laundry. And it takes me all day because I'll put a load in and forget about it forever. And he'll bring out the egg timer and set it next to me. Do you need to set yourself a timer? Oh, yeah, thanks, son. You're right. I know I do. So, absolutely. It's okay. Not good with time is an ADD thing. Yep, absolutely. It really is squirrel. For sure. I start that laundry. As a matter of fact, it's funny, my second load, I usually have 2 loads on Sunday to do. My second load is in the dryer now, and it's probably been dried 3 times, and I have to take it out when we're done. I hope to remember it before I go to bed. I do that too. In fact, I think I have clothes in the dryer now from this morning. Yep, mine from my second load from yesterday is in the dryer now, and I turned it back on, I think, twice today so I could remember to fold them as soon as it was done again. Hi, Dustin. Glad you're here. I'm horrible about getting tasks done, so they finally get done weeks and months later. Absolutely, honey. And we all do that. It just kind of is something that happens, and you have to be nice to yourself about it and know that you do the best you can. So, okay, if you don't want to ask right now, that's okay too. I'm going to get started if you are not ready to ask for your favor here. But if you are, feel free to jump in. That's okay. So I wanted to talk about shadow work again and where we were at. Now I have some clothes in the dryer from yesterday. Yep, me too, Dustin. That's what we were just talking about. Trying to, remember things is not always an easy thing. So sometimes you have to set yourself a timer. It took me a year to reorganize my craft stuff. Oh, I hear you there too. And I'll tell you, my witchy room downstairs has been a work in progress for, oh my goodness, I don't know. It's since I moved here 5 years ago, but really, because I moved some stuff up here, and then one of my kids would move out, and we'd kind of move stuff around, and then I moved some stuff downstairs, and then I moved half of it back up here. It's just a work in progress all the time, but I feel like when it's done, then I'll be able to show it more, and people will be able to see more, and it's just not quite there, unfortunately. I need good vibes for tomorrow. I have a test. Okay, gotcha, no problem. Oh, so was it you that asked for the favor, or was it Kay? Or was I just mixing you two up? Oh, no, Kay did too. So Kay, whenever you're ready, well, I'll be waiting for yours too. And we will definitely send some love and light and non-ADD thought processes for your test tomorrow. Must be so much fun. It's funny. The living room downstairs is where most of my witchy stuff is. And I kind of took over that room, but there was a lot of stuff in it. And it's not a small space, but it quickly looked small after I put all my witchy stuff down there. So then I was like, okay, after the boys moved out, I decided I'd take over this living room up here too. And we still have, the TV in the living room and regular furniture and stuff in the living room downstairs. So then I decided I would move half of it up here. So now this is my tarot space and the spot where I had decided to do most of my videos. And my apothecary is still downstairs, and my altar tools are still downstairs. My main working altar and my main Sabbath altar is downstairs. And my stones are downstairs still. And my books are downstairs still, except for the tarot ones are the ones I'm working on right now. So we just kind of separated it in hopes that it would make it a little bit more organized. And it is. It's not great yet, but it's getting there. So we'll get there. When it's done, you won't remember where anything is. Yes, it takes a while. It does. Took me a year to, I can't, I totally hear you. May I say, being here with you, all you sweet witches, makes my day. Oh, me too. I really look forward to our live time on together. Absolutely. So I'm glad that you guys are joining us, and we seem to have a pretty good crew here. I was just saying too, this is an amazing group of people. Me too. I was just saying that after our Shadow Work series is done, I think I'm going to restart. I did a tarot series last year for wands because that was the suit that I was worst at. Hi, Starlight. Glad you could be here. And then, so wands, because I did that study, I felt really good about the wands, and now they're like my second favorite besides swords. Swords are my first favorite. And then, hi, Alice. And, uh-oh, you just poured it out. What did you pour out? I can't see it. I'll try again. Oh, no. Hi, Artsy and Alice and Starlight. Good. I have so many questions I'll be posting in the Facebook group. Oh, no problem. Don't worry about it. Just be patient with me because sometimes it takes me a while to see stuff, and I've noticed Facebook has been really bad with notifications too. So sometimes I don't get notified that somebody posts something in there. So I apologize ahead of time, but just be patient with me and I'll answer whatever I can for sure. So anyway, I do want to do Pentacles. Pentacles is now my least favorite suit after I did a wand study last year. Other people also answer. I know it's great. That group has been really great. And if you're in it, I appreciate it. And if you're not, please go ahead and join our Facebook group because it's been a good group. And I think that it's going to be great to have people in there who will be able to answer for each other and give each other ideas. And I really am enjoying it so far. So I'm glad we did that. That was a great idea. If all you make box brownies, use half and half milk instead of water, makes the brownies moist. Oh, that sounds good. What was my tip? I had a tip for vegan brownies, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was, there's some kind of bean that instead of adding almost any of the liquid stuff, if you use a box brownie mix, and I think it's the same quantity of kidney bean. No, it can't be. It's some kind of bean. I'll have to find out. And it turns out so good. Black beans. You might be right. I think you're right. It turns out so good that nobody even knew that, that it was vegan and that there was no milk in it or anything. And everybody loved it and it was really good. I think you're right. I think it's black beans. I think. Brownies. Oh, brownies are so good. Now I'm getting hungry for brownies. Actually, it's funny. Before I came up, Peter said he made chocolate chip cookies. He's like, oh, we have to wait for them to cool off anyway. So go up and do your live. Now I'm like, oh, I can smell them down there. Okay, so I want to start the Pentacles when we are done. Yeah, I wish I could go vegan too. I'd be in trouble though. I would run over a woman's broom for good brownies. Heck yeah. Tangent, just found out about Mookaite Jasper, and Google said it should help with wayward thoughts and emotions, so maybe it helps ADD. Okay, so I will tell you. Hi, Jack. Nice that you could be here. And hi, Kendra. I will tell you, I don't know if you are friends with me on Facebook, but every week on Monday, I post 4 crystal skull guardians for the week, and you can pick out one that you feel connected to be your guardian for the week. And this week, one of them is the Mookaite Jasper. And because Mookaite is one of my absolute favorite stones. It's one of those stones that is very hard for me to not buy when I see, because I love all of them. There's such great colors. There's like this deep maroon red and this gorgeous yellow and pinks and white and browns and just some really gorgeous colorings. And my Mookaite skull Jasper, my Mookaite Jasper skull, I don't know how that happened, was like the most popular guardian picked this week so far. So, and then I always post what their properties are. So, absolutely. Okay, my first crystal was a rose quartz skull. They're absolutely guardians for sure. Absolutely. And each of them have their own voice. And most of them at some point finally will tell you their names. Most of them have separate names too. So I bought a lepidolite. Yay, Pepper. Oh, good. Very pretty. Thank you for the recommendation. You are welcome. Lepidolite is very good for ADD. Very, very, very good. So this is this meeting every night. Butterfly Magic. Hi, how are you? I'm glad you're here. I try to come on every night. Usually it's about, well, that's not true. It's probably about 4 to 5 days a week. It's been, I'm shooting for at least 3 days a week. It's been more than that, which is good, but I'm trying to, be nice to myself in case stuff comes up and try not to feel so guilty. But I like coming on, so and 7:30 seems to be like a good time too. So, also Full Moon Wednesday. Yep, absolutely, for sure, Jessica. Yes, and I posted a little bit about that in the. I think I posted a little bit about that in the group. Maybe it was on Instagram. I got to keep all my social media stuff straight. But yes, absolutely. My first crystal is a Picasso Jasper. Oh, I love that. Really pretty. The slash marks on that are gorgeous. Hi, Keith. Glad you're here. Yes. Okay. Yes. So the full moon is on Wednesday. Hold on. Let me get my Instagram up because I'm thinking now that I did not post it in the group, which I meant to. I think I just posted it on Instagram. So if that's the case, I'm really sorry, you guys. I meant to post it on the group too. And I think that somehow did not happen. Okay, so has the witch been named yet? No, she has not. On top of it, I haven't gotten a chance to do that video either. Isn't that horrible? Make sure you moonwalk your tools. Oh, moonwash. Yes. And re-energize and recharge. Okay. So this week's Zodiac correspondences. I also do at least weekly Zodiac correspondences. I have the Barbieri Zodiac Oracle or something like that. And I really like their images. So they are on my altar and I switch them out with every different moon phase. And at least once a week I switch them out. But I try to do it every time the moon switches into a different Zodiac. Which I did yesterday, and so today is actually the last day of the Sun in Libra. Tomorrow starts Scorpio. The Sun in Scorpio tomorrow. Today the moon went into Aries, and the full blood moon or the hunter's moon is on Wednesday. And then I pull a weekly spirit animal out of the Green Wheel Oracle. And this week, the weekly spirit animal was the badger, which is very appropriate because the badger is the link to your ancestors. Talks about indicates strong family ties, issues from the past resurfacing. It can warn about becoming stuck in a rut or repeating cycle, and invites you to break free. Despite the strong family links, the badger path is often a solitary one. There's a deep connection to the earth here and a need to be grounded. So the badger was a perfect thing to come up. And I just pick, bye, Kendra. You have to go already. Sorry. The badger was a perfect animal to pick for the week. So, yay. Now, hold on, because there was one more thing here as soon as I find it. Okay, really? Where is it? Oh my goodness, guys. I'm going completely crazy today. There is a missing picture that talks about this moon. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm almost there. I should have been more prepared. I'm sorry. Well, I didn't know we were going to talk about this stuff, though. But that's okay. I love when people have stuff to bring up. It's great. It means that we're doing stuff, that you want to do, that you want to learn about. And I love it. I love it, love it. All right, so October's moon is right here someplace. Right here. Here we go. Okay. October's moon is Hunter's moon, blood moon. It's also called the sanguine moon. The leaves fall from the trees and the fields stand empty after the harvest. The forest animals have fattened up for the winter ahead. The thinning leaves and empty fields made this an easier time to hunt in preparation for the winter ahead. The October full moon is about honoring that which has passed, the plants and the animals that gave their lives to sustain ours and our ancestors who brought us into being and helped shape our world. Cook old family recipes or tell old family stories in honor of your ancestors. So that is what this full moon is kind of about, which is, again, very appropriate, seeing that Samhain is a week from Wednesday. So that's good. Hope everyone has a good night. Okay, so bye, Kendra. WRT Astrology. I'm so illiterate. Maybe you can make an astrology series. That would be fun. I have to say now, I am not great with astrology either. Which is why I actually bought the Barbieri deck to start out with, because what I wanted to do was be able to change what the moon was under, and when the sun went under a different sign, and in hopes that, and I've been doing it for about a year now, in hopes that it would help me to recognize when stuff changes, that I would recognize trends. Like, okay, so when sun is in this, I've seen a lot of this. And when moon is in this, it seems to be a little bit more of this. And it's starting to work, and it's starting to help me. So I would say the first step of learning astrology is to become aware of it. Become aware of, what the moon is under, what the sun is under, all that kind of stuff. So there's apps. I can't look at my phone because it's on. I have a free app that tells me when, but you have to be careful. I've noticed there's a couple apps that are not very accurate. So you have to really either follow someone who knows what they're doing and knows how to check that, or make sure you have a good app that actually has the actual, this is what the moon is under and this is when, kind of thing. So the first step would be definitely to keep track of what that moon is under. Let's see. Straight, mine is Tiger Eye and Turquoise. Oh, good. Full moon in Taurus. Full moon good question. Full moon this time. I have to look at my app. It's limited K for some reason. I can't say more than a few words at a time. Really? What the heck, Kay? I don't know why it's done that. It doesn't say. I'm gonna add you as a moderator, okay? Even though I don't expect you to have to do anything, but maybe that'll help in, like it'll let you say more. I mean, I know there's a certain amount of letters. Anyways, 200. You only get 200 letters per message, but that's not just a few words though. So, I have to study more about astrology. It never resonated with me before because a lot of people seem to use them as guides. I guess there's something in it. Well, I'll tell you, Nicole, I didn't put a lot of stock into astrology either. And it took me a long time to, and I think it's not, I shouldn't say it like that. It's not that I don't believe that it has influences. I definitely believe that it has influences. There's a lot of things that, because I'm a Libra, I know that this is kind of stems from that. But I don't like read my horoscopes and that kind of stuff. I just, for me, tarot does that just fine, and I do incorporate some horoscopes as far as, or zodiac anyways, as far as this card is very connected to this zodiac, but I don't use them to read out horoscopes. And maybe that's just because my ADD brain has a hard time, because astrology is very numerological and I am a very bad numbers person. So it's not very good for me anyways. It's very difficult for me to combine them because numbers don't mean very much to me. I have a really hard time with numbers. I'm much more of a word person. And yes, I love astrology, but I find it very intimidating. Yes, because it seems like a lot to remember. Absolutely. Me too. Please. Oh, here we go. It keeps jumping on me. Sorry, guys. Please send healing thoughts to my son and daughter-in-law, Samantha. You feel like family, and I feel better talking to. We definitely will, Kay. What's going on with them? Are they okay? I will, as a matter of fact, add them to my Reiki basket. I have a basket that I put people's names in when I want to add them into that basket. And then when I do my daily Reiki sessions, I talk about, whoever's in that basket. If that's okay with you, I will add them. So son and daughter K's, son and daughter-in-law Samantha, which my niece's name from yesterday is Samantha, so that should be easy to remember. Yes, full moon will be in Taurus. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Full moon in Aries on Wednesday. Well, I know today it was in Aries. Yes, yep, I think it is in Taurus tomorrow. Yes, I will be sending healing thoughts too. Thank you, Angela. Anyone know the next retrograde? Oh, I'm trying not to pay attention to it. I think it's in November, though. The end of November, I want to say. I think. I have that too someplace. November 16th is the next Mercury in retrograde anyway. Horoscopes are are rubbish. The whole chart is important. If you just focused on the sun sign, you're missing most of the picture. Absolutely, Molly. And that's what I mean. It is such a big subject that that I have a hard time with it because a lot of it is numbers too, right? Exactly. You can't just look at one little piece. Absolutely. Astrology goes so deep, but I feel like I only know a little and I have a lot to learn since I'm still ignorant of transits and progressed charts. It's as wide and as deep as the tarot. Absolutely. For sure. My sun sign does not resonate with me much, but the moon sign, yes. And Nicole, sometimes too, if from my understanding, my limited understanding, if you're close to another sign, sometimes you pick up on that sign's traits and stuff too. So next, Mercury starts when the Venus retrograde ends. Oh boy. I agree. I think that's why I only dabbled with it. Me too. Absolutely. That's so awesome, Jessica. We get rid of one and begin another. I swear retrogrades are like Voldemort for me in school. It shows up when I'm starting or finishing a term. Oh, Pepper, I hear you. Yeah, Mercury retrograde kills me. It depends too, though. Like the last Mercury was terrible for me. This one coming up, I think, is not quite so bad for me. But it's, it's never great. I'll try. My son's wife laid her bike down on a trip to Jasper. She's broken all over. Oh no. Okay. So many major surgeries. She died twice already, just 26 and 30. Okay. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. We will definitely, as a matter of fact, I will anoint a special candle to them. One of my big, white candles that are 2-3 day candles. Okay. Yeah, it's horrible. I'm so sorry. Astrology is so confusing. It is. It's a lot. It's a big subject. I don't want to sound silly, but what does it mean when we are in Aries tomorrow? Alice, it just means that the moon is under the astrological sign of Aries, and it has to do with, and again, help me out, astrology people, it has to do with the position of the moon and where it is in the sky. Okay, you're not ruining our video. We are just fine, and the reason that I have this community is because we want to help each other, and that is a help to each other. So when someone else, one of our sisters, needs help, then that's what we're here for. Do not apologize at all. What a scary, horrible thing. And, as an x-ray tech, I totally hear, how scary that is. Keep in mind that the body is very good at regenerating itself. So, we'll definitely keep them in our thoughts. I want to put a special anointment on a candle on one of my 3-day candles and light that and keep it lit for you until we hear how they're doing, okay? And so many blessings. I'm so sorry, honey. Love and light. Where are we? I'm so sorry. I'm like way behind, I think. I apologize. Really, you are fine. No need to worry about it. It will rise under the constellation in the sky. Yes, thank you, Spiral Heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No problem. No problem whatsoever at all. All right. Now, let me just get through. There's some steps that I want to get to in our shadow work series, guys. We're 40 minutes in already. I'm sorry. But it's good. It's good to be able to share as a community. And sometimes we need, some of these videos that are just catching up and seeing where we're at. Okay. So that is fine. Glad that people can show each other so much love. That's right. And it, There's just nothing to even worry about. Okay. So using shadow energy, what I want to talk about is when we are building this shadow work, when we are doing our shadow work, we are building up the shadow energy and making it not quite so much in the shadow. So there's things that we can do with this shadow energy that specifically is aligned with that shadow energy. Okay, there's things that can help us to regenerate when we're working with shadow, which we know is a hard thing. And there's things that we can do to regenerate ourselves when we're working on it. So the first thing is sleep, which I am guilty of not watching how much sleep I get. But especially if you are walking down that shadow road, you really want to concentrate on trying to get enough sleep. It would be great if you could get 8 hours. Good luck. Especially, we're busy people in this time, but really try to be nice to yourself. When I say be nice to yourself, get enough sleep. Go to bed a little earlier than you normally would. That kind of thing. If you sleep too much, Nicole, then get some extra exercise, and that will allow you to wake up and feel more refreshed. It's really easy to say, not so easy to do. One thing I have done recently that helps is I keep the step tracker thing on my phone. I really have been starting to keep track of that, and that I want to hit a certain goal every day. So if I haven't hit that by the time I get out of work, I try to go on a walk or something, and that has helped me to at least keep up that minimum amount of exercise, which isn't enough, but at least I know I'm moving a minimum amount a day, and that has helped me a little bit with my sleep, because I have been getting terrible insomnia lately. And it's funny, I didn't really think about the fact that the sun was in Libra, and I know for me, when the sun is in my sign, it's harder for me to get sleep for some reason. I was talking about astrological, that's one of the things that I've noticed since I've started to try to, at least be aware of astrological zodiac kind of things. So, I've been oversleeping way too much due to feeling super drained and wiped of energy. Yep, I hear you. Me too. It's funny. All right, Artsy, thank you for coming, and thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. I have, during the week, for some reason, I cannot get more than 5 hours. And then on the weekend, even though I know scientifically I cannot catch up on the weekend, but on the weekend I'm still going to bed at my normal time, 10, 11 o'clock, and I'm not getting up till 10, 11 o'clock. So it's like my body's trying to catch up, which is not great for it to do that. But I do feel like when it's finally the weekend, I'm like, just let me sleep. Don't anybody bug me. I just want to sleep. The only thing that gets me up on Saturday is knowing that Simon comes on at 11. So I make sure I'm up by then. All right. Oh, Tamaya, hi. I'm glad you've been here then. Stop for a bite to eat. Aha. When my autoimmune disease flares up, I sleep so much I just can't stay awake. Absolutely. And any of you who have that, any chronic illnesses or anything, boys, your body will tell you too. If it's too much and all of a sudden you're just exhausted, sometimes you just need more sleep, and it's okay to do that for sure. I just moved from Oklahoma to Pennsylvania, and I'm all foggy. I thought it would go away, but it's been 2 months. Is there anything other than pills I can do to get my head back? Oh, Alice, I'm so sorry. The East Coast is a completely different energy for sure than the West Coast. Especially now, it's starting to get cold out there. There's lots of different energies. I will tell you, one thing is, and I hate to say, I know you said other than pills, but melatonin is a natural supplement. And sometimes, especially when you're getting used to a new environment and new energies, sometimes melatonin can really help. It is very harsh. Absolutely. A small, you don't have to take a lot usually, especially if you're not used to taking pills. When I start getting my insomnia and I start getting migraines because I'm not sleeping enough, I have 2 milligram pills of melatonin, which you can get usually at Wegmans in the grocery store, or at your natural food supplement, that kind of thing. It's a natural supplement. And if you take 2 milligrams to start out with, about half an hour before bedtime, it really just helps you. For me anyways, I know with the age I'm at, going through menopause and stuff like that, sometimes I'll wake up for no effing reason, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I've slept for 2 hours, and I'm like, what the fuck am I awake for? There's no reason for me to wake. And then it's really hard for me to get back to sleep too, and that's hormones going crazy. But if I remember to take my melatonin after it's been a couple of days of this, and I know, okay, I might need a little help to do that, melatonin, it just helps your brain to stay asleep. So it's a natural supplement, and it helps your brain to be able to stay asleep. It makes it so it's not waking up, with any of the fluctuations. Absolutely, me too. I live on my melatonin some days because I don't take it all the time. It's not addictive. It's not a heavy drug or anything. It's a natural supplement. It's something that your body already produces. It's just if you give yourself a little bit more when you're having the hard time sleeping and stuff, it just allows your sleep to be a better sleep, and it really helps me a lot. I sleep 1 to 2 hours at a time throughout the day and night. Yep, absolutely. I have fibromyalgia and chronic and adrenal fatigue. When that fatigue hits, it is a struggle. Absolutely, Molly, for sure. I wonder about fatigue too, chronic fatigue syndrome and that kind of stuff. But I think living in New York, sometimes I think all of us have it. It's really hard when we don't see the sun for 6 months sometimes. Thank you. I'll try it. No problem. Absolutely love me some melatonin. Self-care is absolutely. I only take it when my brain won't shut up. Absolutely. Me too. And like I said, it's not an addictive thing, but I don't take it all the time. For one thing, I don't want my body to get used to more melatonin. Like it has to have that to go to sleep. And even though it's not addictive and they say it's fine if you take it long term and stuff, I don't like to take anything long term. So I do take it when it's really gotten to the point where it's been a couple days and I know my brain just isn't shutting off. I'm waking up for no reason, that kind of thing. I do take it. Molly, that is something I'm having to learn, to not be so hard on myself when I need to do more self-care. Absolutely, Angela. Don't feel selfish. It is not selfish. You have got to fill the cup up or you have nothing to give to any place else. I know that's easy to say, and as a mother, we tend to just keep giving, but you can't do that. Sometimes no is okay. We all need help during menopause. Amen. Molly, my spirit animal is a wolf. Yep. I have my days and my nights screwed up, and my pain is bad when I sleep more than a few hours. Then I have to get up and move around. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Althena, that's horrible. I've been going to a meditation class. It helps a lot with sleep and mood. Yes, absolutely. And that's the other thing I was going to suggest too, is if you're having a hard time sleeping, everybody has a different noise that helps them to relax. But there are all kinds of free sleep apps now. I use one that has thunderstorms on it because to me, I don't know, growing up near a lake or something, thunderstorms are so relaxing. And I also have, and of course I can't think of it now, my favorite meditation app. And it's totally flown out of my brain. There goes menopause again. Bells. Nope. Nope. Totally lost it. But I will either do I have a rain app that does rain and thunderstorms, which I love to help me sleep. Or there's a meditation. There's a million different meditation apps, but I like one in particular. And of course, I cannot remember what it is. But they have great guided sleep meditations. If you're one that likes guided meditations, if you're not and you want just soft music or singing bowls or something, they have all kinds of them too. So take a look for sure. I have to use hypnotherapy because melatonin quit working for me. Oh, I'm sorry, Wild Bells. Oh, that's terrible. See, that's partly why I don't take it. And even though, again, it's not addictive, but I'm afraid that my body will get used to having that much and then it'll still need more. My brain keeps thinking about things till it crashes. Yep, I need to improve my sleeping habits. I usually pass out about 2 or 3 a.m., wake up 10 or 11 unless I need to wake up earlier. Absolutely. Just think that if you're not well and healthy, Angela, you can't be a source available to care for others. You have to take care of source first. That's right. Absolutely. Light therapy can help during the day. Absolutely. And I've heard that. And it's a lot of people have, what do they call the lamps that are supposed to have what you need in them or something. In New York, especially on the East Coast, because we go through, 4, 5, 6 months where we don't see the sun very much. A lot of people have those lights, but I don't. I should, though, because, boy, I feel it by the time February comes. Lots of guided meditations on YouTube. Absolutely. Very true, Molly and Jen. Definitely getting better. Good. Do self-care for sure. Rain on a tin roof. Yes. Also, check out Ambient Mixer. Yep. There are also sleepy time tinctures you can make for sure. Absolutely. Even just if you go to your grocery store even, and I have, my apothecary shelves downstairs, I have herbs, but a lot of people don't keep all those herbs on hand. You can, however, just go to your natural food store and get like chamomile and put some of that in with your tea at night. Or if you just go to your supermarket now, there's a lot of, sleepy time tea. There's a lot of all natural teas that help. There's one for chest cold. There's one for runny nose. There's one for sleep. There's all kinds of different teas that are right on every grocery store shelf now. People are getting a lot better about trying to do the all natural kind of thing. 4 months without sun. Yes, Nicole. I have to say that's the one thing about New York that drives me crazy. We, by the time it's actually, I feel like it's coming early this year. I don't know if any of you who are on the East Coast can tell that too, but it's been very cold the last week, and usually it's a little bit better. Like we get a little bit of sun for a couple days, and then it's cold again. And then it's a little bit of sun, and then it's cold again. We've had, it went right down the tubes, and it's been cold, 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 and we're looking at snow, I think, next week or at the end of this week. Because the hurricane that's coming up, and it's gonna, combine with some cold front that's coming down from Canada, and we're gonna end up with this horrible thing. But once November comes, usually that's it. We don't see, it's gray skies. The skies are gray. We hardly see the sun, and the skies are gray until the end of March, sometimes the end of April, sometimes the beginning of May, depending on the year. And it makes it very difficult to be in a good mood. By the time February hits, I'm done. I'm like ready to kill people. But some of the stuff that's helped is interacting with people, is doing, having a plan, doing my YouTube channel, tarot, doing my witchy stuff. All that stuff has helped me anyways, because it gives you a focus other than the horrible weather. I loved living in North Carolina, I have to say, for that reason, for sure, is because at least, even if it got cold and it snowed, usually later on that day, it would be blue skies again. And that we don't get that. In New York, it is gray. Gray, 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 gray. Every year or every day for months, it's gray. We don't see the sun. And it makes it really crappy. It's been that way in PA too. Absolutely. Valerian root tastes awful, but it'll knock you out. That's true. It's very bitter. Blah. Bitter, bitter, bitter. But it does work. It's been that way in PA too. We didn't have a fall. It went from 90s to 50s. I'm in South Central PA. Yep, absolutely, Jessica. It's just been ugh. And I'm really worried about Samhain because now we want to do this ritual. Well, not that I'm worried about it. It's okay. I would much rather do our Samhain ritual outside, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that if there's snow on the ground. Good luck getting a bonfire and stuff. So I may end up doing an inside ritual, which I'm not really happy about, but I might have to do that. My tea is Tension Tamer tea. Heck yeah. It's earlier here too. I'm in the Mountain West. Don't even talk about Ohio weather. There you go. Yep, Dustin, I hear you. I'm going to die if it's like that. Yep, PA likes to flop like that. Yep. It's 67 right now in Florida. Seems to be cooling down finally. That's pretty low for Florida. I don't know what part of Florida you're in, but that's pretty low. I used to live in Bradenton. I like to light fires outside this time of year. Yes, that helps too, for sure. I'm in Florida. We get sun. Does the position of the moon differ depending on where we are? Because it says in my app it's in Aries and I'm in the Philippines. No. As far as, you mean zodiac wise, right now it is in Aries. By the time the full moon comes, it will be in Taurus. But it is in Aries. It actually this morning, I think, early this morning, like 2 or 3 in the morning, sometime it went from Pisces, I believe it was yesterday, it was Pisces, and it went into Aries this morning. And I'm pretty sure anyway, it's not like the Sabbats, where they're opposite if you're in the southern hemisphere. I'm pretty sure if it's in Aries for you, it's in Aries for everybody. I'd love to stick around, but I think I'm going to go now. Difficult focusing. I hear you, Kay, and I am lighting that candle tonight for you, honey. Good luck. We will all be sending you love and light, and I'm lighting that candle tonight. Yeah, tarps got to cover the oranges. Yep, for sure. I know it. I'm in North Georgia, but thankfully not in the mountains. I love the mountains. But, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I love the West Coast mountains. I don't know much about Georgia's mountains. Okay. So we got through the first one. We're almost an hour, guys, but we're doing good. It's all right. What else should we be doing with that dream or with that shadow energy dreams? So we talked a little bit about starting a dream journal. That's really important. Dreaming will bring up stuff for you that when you are pulling that shadow stuff out, other stuff is coming out too. And dreams will help you kind of work through that. So if you can, put a little notebook by your bed and write down your dreams and just kind of keep track of them a little bit. For one thing, it will train your brain to start remembering your dreams more. And for another thing, you'll see kind of patterns of, what kind of dreams are you having? Are you having good dreams? Are you having kind of weird nightmarish kind of dreams? What kind of dreams are you having? And that will help you. Rest. Rest doesn't equal sleep. You need both. Rest is different for most people. Snuggling up to a story told on the big screen is just as good for you as reading. So you can read a book, you can watch TV a little bit. There are many mindless and vapid books as there are TV shows. They're just a little harder to get a hold of. Evaluate the quality of your rest. Are you actually able to switch off from your problems and enjoy calming hobbies like reading or listening to music? Are you falling asleep the moment your bum hits the sofa? Or are you still thinking about work? If you're finding it hard to rest, there's a problem in your life that you need to fix. Less work and more sleep never hurt anybody. So there you go. Wonder. At least once a month, make time for yourself to go outside and look up at the night sky. There you go. Tonight would be a good night since there's a meteor shower tonight and tomorrow. If you're lucky enough to live in places with less light pollution, feel free to do it as often as you can, but at least once a month. I always tell myself, even in the winter months, when it's a full moon, I am outside for at least, I don't care how cold it is, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, at least go out and look at it. And that will at least get you out once a month. You should try to do it once a week. But especially if it's wintertime out, I know usually we're rushing from the car into into your house, unless you're in Florida or someplace warm. That feeling that you get when you look up at the night sky, that's vital to life. Vital. Hi, Indigo Moon Woman. Yes, you're catching the end again. I'm sorry. But hello, I'm glad you're here. It's part of being a human. Cultivate that feeling as often as you can. Go to museums, watch documentaries, stand in nature, and simply watch and listen. Do that as much as you can. One of the things I've been kind of railing I've been calling my politician, actually, our local politicians lately, because as far as I'm concerned, we need to have more like scholarships and free days and stuff for museums. We should not have to be rich to go to our local museums. That's crazy. I was really annoyed lately because we don't have a lot of extra money. I don't have, I don't do a whole lot as far as we don't go out on dates and stuff like that because we just don't have it. We have cable and we have Netflix and that kind of stuff, but we don't do all that kind of stuff. So I am a very cultured person though, and I want to be a cultured person, and I love plays and I love concerts, and I would go to a classical music concert if I could get in. All of a sudden concerts are like $80 a ticket. Museums, in order to get into a museum, it's $30 for one person to go in the door now. I'm like, what the hell is this? It pisses me off because you shouldn't have to be rich to be cultured. That's just wrong. So I have been calling my local politicians. I invite you to join me in calling your local politicians and finding out they need to have more scholarship days. They need to have more days that people who are not rich can come and support the arts. There's no reason for only rich people to be able to enjoy the arts, and it pisses me off. So that's just an aside thing, but because I love museums and I love the planetarium and I love plays and Broadway stuff and all this stuff, and I haven't been able to do a lot of that lately because a football game. I'm a huge Bills fan. We used to go to 4 or 5 games a year. I just looked on for the cheap, crappy, way up top. Now in Buffalo, it's an open air theater, and usually for like the February games when it's freezing, you can get them for really cheap. I just looked at $60 a ticket. For the way up top, you're freezing your ass off seats. I was so pissed. I'm like, what the hell? That just is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, and it really ticks me off. So call your local politicians. Tell them that's not right. Kids should be able to go and do stuff, and kids in normal, and yeah, $60. And I'm talking. We have a huge stadium in Buffalo, but it's open air. So in February, you are freezing your ass off. It's insane. And so I usually go in February because I know I can get cheap tickets. We used to get them for like $15-20 because nobody wanted to go when they were way up there. It's just crazy. So it's too bad that all of a sudden you have to be, yeah, they are incredibly ridiculous. So all of a sudden you have to be rich in order to be cultured, and that's just not right. That, again, to me, that I hate to talk politics. I apologize. I try not to do politics very much, but it's a big part of my life. That's a big part of the divide, as far as I'm concerned, is that all of a sudden you have to be rich to be cultured. And so there's a percentage of the population who gets a good education, is allowed to do cultured kind of stuff, and they then feel that that's important, but for some reason they don't want everyone else to be able to do that stuff. I don't know. I'm annoyed. Even, I'll tell you, even, hold on, my son is super I saw a lot of plays and shows in college because our school had a theater that offered student rush tickets. Yep, it's the only way I could afford to go. Absolutely. My son is super into Pokemon, so I downloaded the app on my phone, and we've been going on evening walks so you can catch them, and it's actually helping me more than I expected. Awesome, Jessica. That is awesome. Also, since it's getting darker earlier, we've been able to start looking for stars. Yay! Good for you. I agree with you. It's wrong not to have the future open up to everyone. Absolutely. Bank of America has free museum days on certain days of the month. Well, that's cool. Good, good. I'd say even our local high school play. I was going to take my kids to a local high school production because they were doing, I don't know, something that I had done back in school or something, like a Cole Porter play or something. And they were like $25 for adults. So it would have been $50 for just my husband and I. And then even the student tickets were like $15. It's like, give me a break. There's a training zoo that's ran by a local college and it's really cheap. Adult tickets are like $10, I think. Cool. Yep, there is a meteor shower tonight. Let's hope. I was in theater in high school. Cannot believe how much more expensive it is. Me too. I was too. And I'm like, really? I swear to God, it was way easier to go. I don't know, before, but that's just my thing. Sorry to go off on my little tangent here. Let me finish this and then we'll be done because it's been over an hour. Wow, all of this is a lot less expensive where I live. Ugh, good for you. Well, I hope so, Spiral Heart, because it's crazy around here. And, you know, it's not like I live in New York City. I don't. This is an area that might have high taxes, but we're supposed to, you know, be a fairly inexpensive place to live. Okay, what else? So using that shadow energy. I'm annoyed with all the high prices too, but you know us witches, we'll eat spaghetti for a week to get a book or a tarot deck, right? I was thinking that too. I'm like, as I'm saying this, I'm looking it over and all my tarot decks. I'm like, wow, if I sold a bunch of my tarot decks, I probably could go to a lot of places. Oh, so bad, so bad. Okay, I totally get that. Yep. All right, I'm going to ignore that now. Fear. Okay, so that shadow energy that's coming up. Fear. Fear is not always a bad thing. You should do stuff once in a while that you're afraid of because that adrenaline is something that you need in life once in a while. Whether that be a horror movie, or a roller coaster, or getting up and doing a video in front of people that you don't know, or what else? Anything, talking in front of people that you wouldn't normally talk in front of, teaching a class, maybe signing up to teach a class at your community center where, you know, of sewing, if you know how to sew, or pottery, or all that kind of stuff is stuff that will get your adrenaline flowing. It signals your brain that you're doing something new. Horror movies, if you know, I watch horror movies all the time. It signals your brain that you're doing something new, and then you get through it and it's okay. Nothing happened. You didn't die. You didn't crap your pants. Nothing happened that was so horrible that you'll never do that again. And it signals your brain that new doesn't necessarily mean bad. New is okay. And we should keep trying to do new stuff all throughout our life, whether we're in our crone phase or whether we're just getting out of our teenage life. We should always try to seek out new opportunities and new things to do that will keep our adrenaline flowing. Come visit me in Utah, Jen. We can do cheap stuff. You live in Utah? Wonder where my husband is. Utah is like my favorite place on the planet. My husband and I have kind of a thing about it, but the mountains in Utah are the most gorgeous place. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. So I would love to live there, but it'll never happen. My husband. Plus, we have family we have to take care of, but I love Utah. So I will come out and visit you anytime. Okay. Where am I? Did you see my video on phobias today? No, I didn't. I will write it down. Hold on. Indigo Moon Woman, I've got to watch your video on phobias. That will be the next thing I do. Anxiety is a big roadblock in my life. I'm scared of the fear and awkward feeling. Little dandelion, sometimes in order to get through the anxiety, you have to take little steps to show yourself that fear isn't always bad. Anxiety is a feeling that we can overcome, that, and the more we do something that we're anxious about a little bit, the more your body and your brain start going, all right, I was really anxious about that. And you know what? I kind of got through it. It wasn't that bad. Nothing terrible happened. I didn't, die of a heart attack on the stage. I didn't, whatever. It's just a trigger that you need to overcome, that says, okay, I might be feeling funny about this, but I can keep going. I can keep doing it. Horror podcasts. Oh, I love horror podcasts. Absolutely. I hear you. Fear and anxiety is something I'm working on. I need to learn that it's okay and that I can't let fear control me. Absolutely. For real, come visit. I would love to. Spiral Heart. I would love to. I just found your videos today. I am new to all of this. You're so helpful. Oh, Missy, hi. I'm glad to have you here. Please feel free to join our Facebook page under Willow Wind. You have to spell it like I do here, WYLLOW, then another W, that's two W's in the middle, YND, apostrophe S, Thrifty Witchin, with an apostrophe at the end, WITCHIN apostrophe. And I will accept you on there, and then you can kind of keep up with us and when we're doing videos and stuff, and I'm glad to have you here. I just talked about doing shadow work to deal with phobias, just a short video on it. That is so awesome. I love when synchronicities like that happen and to go, that is great, and I will definitely catch that. Thank you, Angela. There's the link. Angela just posted the link for the Facebook group. I just love when synchronicities happen like that. So I'm definitely going to check it out. Acceptance and commitment therapy has helped me a lot with anxiety. Acceptance and commitment therapy. Good. I got some things to look up. Acceptance. Commitment therapy. Good, good, good. I love this. Good stuff, guys. Quadruple such a corny joke, but it makes me laugh. Hi everyone, thanks so much. I will join the Facebook group. Good. I love serendipity too. Me too. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so fear. What's some other things? Mystery. Keeping the mystery of life alive. That's why social media is so popular. We want to know everything about everyone, but it's good to leave your life mysterious. You shouldn't give everything of yourself to anyone, never mind everyone. And I think we all agree that airing your dirty laundry online is not the thing to do. It's funny, we just kind of learned that lesson with the whole Simon thing. If any of you were around this summer with the Simon thing, we kind of learned that sometimes, it's okay to put yourself out there, but just be careful that you're not putting so much of yourself out there that you leave yourself vulnerable to large groups of people. This group, it's okay. The Facebook group, we talked about specifically, that Facebook group is a confidential place. And if anyone ever violates that, your ass will be out of there. So just know that that's the one rule I have, is that is a safe place. What stays in that group stays in that group. You should not be sharing that around with everybody, okay? Don't try to fit yourself into a box. You are what you are, magical and mysterious. And the flip side of mystery is going and finding it. Try new things, solve puzzles, research topics that fascinate you. Stay curious. That's a huge deal. Stay curious. Find something that interests you a little bit and start researching it and learning more about it and figuring out what you know about it and what you don't know about it. That keeps life interesting, and it keeps that shadow side interested, and keeps, it's like churning when you're doing, what am I trying to say? outside when you have compost, when you're composting, and you put stuff on the top that, like is old bananas and scraps and leftovers and that kind of stuff. And when you are ready to turn it, you have to pick it up and turn the whole thing, because that starts stinking. And then the stuff underneath has had enough time to settle in there, and it just makes it the perfect growing compost. You keep turning it, and you keep it fresh, and you keep it alive, and you put new things in there once in a while, because it'll help you to grow more if you have more new things in there. Okay, so keep it interesting. Hi, Danilo Prado from Brazil. We always like to have new people here. Nice to have you here. Boundaries are good. Absolutely. It's me, Grace. Yay! Grandma finally made it. I made it for a live chat. I'm outside and having a cigarette and thought I would just jump on. Oh, good. We are getting to the end of tonight's, but I'm so glad you made it. I'm loving all these. Will you post them in the Facebook group? Yes, I will. I will post this specifically in the Facebook group. Hi, also glad to be here. Yay, I'm great. Learning so many new things. I have so many questions. So happy I found y'all. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. I'll answer as many as I can. I love questions. Okay. Shadow. Dumbledore was wrong. I love how she explains this. Dumbledore was wrong. Standing up to your friends is not the bravest or hardest thing to do. Standing up to yourself is the bravest and hardest thing to do sometimes. One of the reasons we don't stop to think today is that we're frightened that we might say to ourselves. We don't stop and think about, do I want to say this thing? Because we might tell ourselves, no, I don't want to say that thing. And so we just keep pushing on, right? Mental illness is rising faster than we can cope. Avoiding the dark is seriously unhelpful. Facing up to yourself and seeing yourself without rose-tinted spectacles or the comfy sweater of negative self-talk is difficult, but it is necessary. It is necessary to reach inside yourself, find those shadow things, pull them out, and learn to accept them, love them. What 3 things can we do with the shadow that we pull out? Number 1, we can say, you know what? I built this shadow piece of myself because I was protecting myself from something that is no longer valid in my life. I can set this shadow piece down. It's not mine anymore, and I don't need it. Number 2, you pull that shadow piece out and you look at it and you study it and you think, okay, well, you know what? I'm not ready to put it down yet. I still kind of need it, but I can tweak it a little bit. I can try to start working on it. Maybe instead of screaming at my aunt when she drives me crazy, I'm going to count to 10 and know that she's driving me crazy because she's putting up a mirror and I'm looking at something that I don't want to see in myself and walking away. Even though it might seem rude to her, it's a lot less rude than saying, what the fuck? And so that's a way to tweak it. Or number 3, we might pull that shadow out, take a look at it, say, okay, you know what? This shadow piece, even though I covered it over and I didn't want anybody to know about it, now I know about it. I'm not ready to let it go. I'm not ready to change it yet. I kind of need it just the way it is. But the good thing is I can now look at it, accept it, love it, and say, it's okay. It might not be the thing I'm proud of, but I need this. I need this piece because it helps me to walk forward today. And it might not be something I'm proud of, and eventually I might want to change it, but I'm not going to put it back in shadow and cover it over so that nobody knows about it and I forget that it's there. I'm just going to set it aside, let it see some light, and accept it and acknowledge it. And when it comes up, even if I can't change my reaction to it, I'm at least going to say, oh yeah, this is that trigger thing. There's something that triggers me. That's right. I remember it's sitting up here. It's not buried. It's not put away. It's not covered over. It's sitting up here, and I might not be able to change my reaction about it yet, but hey, you know what? I acknowledged it. I knew that it's there, and I know that that is kind of a trigger for me. And just that awareness will help you to accept yourself more. Okay, so that's the third thing. How are we doing? Do we have questions, guys? I'm sorry. Great. Learning so many shadow work has been so helpful for me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. It has been helpful for me too. Every year when I pull up the shadow work stuff, it really is helpful. And like I said, you might not be able to change what you want to change right away, but that's okay. If you can acknowledge it, that's enough for now. Don't beat yourself up because you can't change it, because you're pulling it out and looking at it and saying it's okay. It's at least acknowledging that it's there. Awareness is always the first step. Absolutely, Jessica, for sure. Yes, I've acknowledged I need to do something with my screaming banshee. Woohoo! I think we should start a screaming banshee club. I wish I didn't have that piece of me, but I'm telling you. And I know sometimes people are like, no, you don't have that piece of you, because I know on here I seem like such a sweet person. I am a mean fucking bitch. There are times that I think, oh my God, did I just say that out loud? Did I really just scream that at her? And usually, unfortunately, it's my mother and my aunt. And there's something in them that forces me to find something that I don't like to look at myself in that way. And it's just it's like some other being comes out of me. And then I know, okay, there is some shadow that I'm ignoring that I have to look at again, because that trigger happened and I wasn't able to stop it. Okay, I'm only a week or two into exploring witchcraft. What should I focus on? Oh, Missy. There's start with yourself. Witchcraft really starts with internally recognizing that you are a great and powerful being, that you are someone who can be magical in your own right, and start with that. And then, yes, someone said my Beginning Witch series. Go back. There is, I have a whole playlist of Beginner Witch series. And that will, if you start with that series, I promise you that'll help you a little bit. And then after you watch that series, if you have any more questions, if you have questions in between, no problem. And I will help you if you have specific questions too. Absolutely. You can ask specific questions and I will help, get you started on one piece or get you started on another piece. But that Beginner Witch series really does help you to kind of get a layout of the land to say, okay, what am I starting with? What should I start with? And then you can ask specific questions, okay? Rage is such a powerful, are you reading my mind? Rage is such a powerful emotion. It's usually about a memory or a time where you needed to protect yourself but weren't able, and it keeps coming back. Absolutely. Join the group. We can have discussions there. Yes, thank you, Nicole. To let go of things, I meditate. And imagine a bridge, and I take a basket with me. Walk to the middle of the bridge and drop it in the water. It disappears. That is a great meditation, Tina. Great meditation. I love it. Thank you. That's a really good one. Okay, so we're talking about shadow energy. What do we do with this shadow energy that we're bringing up? Solitude. Solitude. Sometimes you have to have some solitude. Most of us are solitary practicing witches. You have to have some solitude. Humans are primates, not horses. We live in troops or families, not packs or herds. We need time alone, truly alone. Facebook time doesn't count because that counts as social interaction. Don't listen to anyone that says otherwise. We need time with ourselves to cultivate our own interests, our own thoughts, our own feelings, and to rest without fear of judgment and interruption. And sometimes, what can we do in solitude? We can, and for your new people, welcome to My Internet Sucks. And sometimes that'll happen, and just give me a minute and I'll be right back. So that's what happens. Hopefully you're all still here. Hi, I'm back. I'm solitary, but consider YouTube to be my coven. For sure. Absolutely, Starlight. I do too, a lot. I find that I have this shadow piece where I've experienced anger in such unhealthy ways that anger is not an acceptable emotion. Absolutely. And I hear you, Jack, and I agree. But a couple things. First of all, remember that Anger is a healthy emotion. It's sometimes our reaction, though. Our way of expressing that is not always healthy. And mine certainly is not. I'm right with you on there. There are times where I think, oh my God, how my son has said to me before, and thank goodness my son is here. There are times, and I love my aunt dearly, and I try very hard as a caretaker. Sometimes it's hard because you're kind of stuck. But there are times that I have said things to her that I thought, what the hell just came out of my mouth? I mean, horrible, awful things that I think, oh, I can't say that anymore. And it's such a trigger that's when I know there is something in shadow there that I have got to pull out and look at, because there's something that is triggering me so much that I'm so afraid. Anger comes from fear usually. I'm afraid of, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid of being left alone. I'm afraid of people seeing a piece of me that I don't want people to see. That's what shadow work. Yep. Sorry, guys. After an hour, it starts to get a little wonky. Sorry. But anger itself is not a bad emotion, an acceptable emotion. It's just how we kind of react to that. Starlight, I'm finding the same. I'm so thankful for this community. I'm with you, Starlight. What a gift this has been. Yes, rage and anger are powerful energies that we need to focus when we need it and let it go when it's no longer useful. Yay. Good. Anger can hurt other people, but learning to accept your own anger can help you manage it and express it in a helpful way. Yes. Yes, I get that. I caregiver too. Well, then more power to you. It is not easy. There are some days that I think, what the hell is wrong with me? How did I get in this position? I'm a caregiver. I've got to not do that. And it's not, I say that and then I think, oh, I hope people don't think I'm mean, but I say some horrible things sometimes, really horrible things that I think, oh, I can't say that. No, I've got to just walk away. I just got to walk away sometimes. I'm a counselor, and so I really feel the need to keep things in check. Me too. I hear maybe try talking to the anger. Absolutely. I look forward to meeting with everyone on these live chats. Yay, I think anger helps us to be fearless unless you're a caretaker. Wow, I did that with my mom and dad. I was trying to save bail money just in case. I know there's just sometimes you get overwhelmed, and like I said, they put a mirror up and there's something there that I'm trying to, and the more I think about it, the more I have thought it's fear. It's fear because my aunt, I have loved my aunt. My aunt was more of a mother to me than my mother was. And so to see her the way she is now, she's really killing herself. And I hate to say that, but she sits in her chair all day and doesn't do anything, and she's wasting away. And that is so hard for me that it makes me angry. And then, so there's a thing there that I don't want to see her like that. So but it goes too far. It goes to a point where I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Okay. So, shadow energy. Let's finish up real quick before my thing goes out again. I'm sorry, guys. Solitude. Make sure you give yourself some of that solitude. Read a book. Do something that is on your, meditate. Do something that is on your own that reinforces your own power. Okay. Patience. All things. I learned in a class that it's related to a numbing of your empathy response. Numbing of your empathy response. I don't think I've heard that either. I'll have to really think about that. That's an interesting thought. Patience. All things have their time. Have you ever sat in the dark and watched the stars rise and set? Watched a fledgling learn to fly? Literally watched the grass grow? Nope. I don't take that time. In the time of on-demand food and entertainment, it's easy to forget that the world doesn't work like that. Things take time. Learning new skills takes time. Becoming healthy takes time. Growing takes time. Plans take time to plan, implement, and execute. Learning to be patient, learning to know when to wait and when to let go is a forgotten skill. So it's good to practice patience. I have gotten much better. I have two places that I have practiced patience. One is the car. I'm a type A personality. So if you cut me off in traffic, I am screaming at you. I do not, here's what I don't do. I've gotten better. Now I will not honk my horn because I'm like, that's just going to piss you off. And then I actually could get into an actual confrontation. So I'm screaming at you even though you can't hear me. Or if I've gotten better, which I've started to get better, I am taking a big deep breath and calling you a motherfucker under my breath. Okay, they cannot affect me today. Okay, they cannot affect me today. So that's the first place I'm practicing my patience. The second place is in a waiting room or in the grocery store, someplace where I have to stay in line where there's always an idiot in front of you. Which my husband, and I think that's part of it, is my husband and I will feed off of each other because I know he's very impatient in lines and stuff. So then I start to get like anxious because I know he's anxious. And so now I have taken a deep breath and being like, la, la, la. So what's around me that interests me? Can I start to read a magazine that's here? Is there something? I will get on my phone and start doing something that I don't care how long it takes. It's okay. There's nothing I can do about it. And me getting myself all worked up is just going to raise my blood pressure, which is not good for anyone. And it's not like if I got all pissed off at you, you're going to go faster. If anything, it's going to make you anxious, and then you're going to slow down and not know what you're doing. So that's a good way to practice patience. Have a couple situations in your life where you're like, okay, I'm going to practice patience. Okay, lastly is power. Ready? I drum on my steering wheel too hard, rock music when I'm stuck in traffic. Woohoo! That's great. Do you know what you are when you have all these things in your life? Powerful. Strong. And if you don't believe me, think about why corporations and governments are taking these things from us. They are trying to instill a phobia of the dark in us to prevent us from stepping into our power. But they won't win because they've already underestimated us. They've underestimated you. Your life is in your hands, not theirs. Step into the dark and be reborn. Take your power back. You have the power. Yay. I find the need to verbalize those things to the people that irritate me, and that gets me in trouble. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, absolutely. It always will get you in trouble, and it doesn't help. It's not like, I try to tell myself, if I said to them, hey, idiot, what the hell are you doing? Do I really think that they're going to go, oh my gosh, I'm being an idiot. How silly of me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be an idiot. No, they're going to go, F you. Who the hell do you think you are? And that is just going to escalate and make it worse. So, unfortunately, instead of expressing my power at that moment, I have to use my power in a different way. Been caught at red lights doing that. Yay, Blackbird. I'm just about finished. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you're here. I'm going to leave now. I need to shower, and being in water helps me bunch. Oh, good, little dandelion. I'll be thinking of you too, honey. I'm going to put you in my Reiki basket if you don't mind. Okay, so take back your power, but take it back in a way that will help your shadow, okay? Lost you guys for a while back again. Sorry, Spiral. Okay. So, good. I don't know. I feel like we're not quite done with shadow. I don't know what's left that I need to still talk about. Using the shadow energy. So just let me know, guys, if there's any questions you still have about shadow work after going through the series. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you're not quite sure about? Is there any questions that you have still that, you need to focus more on, or you need a little more clarification on? Take back your power. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe just do a shadow check-in video in a day or two. Absolutely, for sure. Can you post a few of the tarot shadow spreads in the group? Yes, Angela, and I was going to do that, and darn it, I didn't. And I have, oh, that's, you know what? All right, so the next video, this specific shadow spread is a great shadow spread, but it is a long one. So we will say tomorrow night's shadow work will be a in-depth shadow tarot spread. So if you have tarot cards, bring them with you tomorrow night, and we will do this one. And I will post the other ones that I really like. It is a big spread. It is very in-depth, but it is really good. It is really good. When I did this spread, I was like, wow, there's a lot of little things that it brings up that you're like, oh, I didn't see it that way before. That's very good. So bring a tarot deck with you tomorrow night if you have one. If not, you can certainly follow along. If not, see if you can get a tarot app, because you can use it in an app too. Meditation class. Spiral Heart, that's okay. You can watch it back, absolutely, especially when it's something like a long tarot spread. It'll be, you know, sometimes it might be easier for you because you might be able to pause and work out your thing and then press play and keep going. So that's okay. So we will do that tomorrow night. I will post the rest of the shadow tarot spreads that I really like in the group. If you're not in the group, go ahead and check it out. Willow Winds Thrifty Witchin'. We'll do tomorrow night, and then we'll, check in for the rest of the time. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. You're right on it. I don't even have to say it. I love it. So the rest of you, thank you for coming. I'm so appreciating and loving this for sure. Y'all will need to get the extra table leaves out of the basement. I know, I was thinking that this little table that I have, my little tea tray table, that is not going to be big enough for this spread. I'm going to have to actually clear off my big table and use that. So, yep, have a big table in front of you. And although we can do it in sections too. We can do the first part and then, okay, let's put that aside and we can do the second part and then we can do that too. But we'll get there either way. Thank you all for coming. Small deck. There you go. We'll see you tomorrow night, and then we'll kind of check in and see how we are. And definitely we will do a couple, probably, wait a couple days and just do a check-in, wait a couple more days, do a check-in, and then we'll see where we're at. I will be starting a Pentacle series soon. I have to finish my ritual series, so we're getting there. I keep waiting for the weather to get better, and I just think I might have to bring it inside. Blessings, guys. Have a great night. Hopefully your Monday ends wonderfully.